Hey, Jim. You know, I had such good luck with my 650 recently. I'm going to attempt to do sort of the same thing to my 2008 X5. It has the same crazy V8 as the 650, so should be familiar territory. This is today's victim, 2008 E70 X5. It's got the nice black exterior, brown leather interior in pretty good condition. You'll see I have a fan going because it has the notorious clogged drain up here on the sunroof, so it's been dripping off of here right onto my leg, and then the floor's been getting all wet, so we're going to address that. I did just put brand new tires on it, some good Continental contacts. So this X5 has been neglected, and I've done some silly things to it. I built an EMT roof rack, as you can see, some silly bumper cover. Of course, I had to get rock sliders. All of that was for all of this. It gets some funny looks. Okay, so I started making a list of everything this thing needs, and like I said, it's been neglected. Look at the paint is going really bad on the tops of the fenders. Not so much here. Hopefully, once this is done, I'll have some time to play with those two over there. I'm looking forward to getting that 911 running and back on the road again. Anyway, I started to make a list here. This is my 08, and I want to do an oil filter service. Cabin filter change, yes. Keep on going. I'm not going to read him, but that's what I've gotten so far, and that's without even turning the engine on. That's without even putting the key in. So let me go see what else I have to add to this. So I've got washer fluid level low, set date and time, right brake lamp malfunction, and that one is just simply service due. I believe that means it wants an oil change, but I'll make sure that's the case. Mileage currently 123,295. All right, I'm going to take care of some of this really important stuff first. This split here has been bugging me for a long time, so hold on. Yeah, it's splitting all over the place here. Oh, there we go. So this steering wheel isn't in terrible condition, luckily, but I got a new one. Okay, this is a stretch-on, just like I put on the 650. It takes a bit of effort to put it on there. It really does. It's tight, so I'm not worried about it slipping on the wheel, and it makes the wheel a little bit chunkier, which is nice, and still have the lovely little thumb grip thingies here, which are kind of neat. Anyway, done. Ew. Here's another good one. I guess it's fairly common. The door handle just like turns to goo. And at first I thought someone had tried to repair it with wax, but then I looked it up and it seems like this is a relatively common thing. So now I can get a new one, or my beautiful wife Shannon ordered a variety of different colors of this. It's kind of like a medical tape, and it sticks to itself. So we've got tan or black. I guess I'm just going to go with the black here. we're going to have to file this under better than it was, because it's definitely better than it was. Now on a hot day, it won't be all gooey and get waxy stuff all over the passenger's hand. Is it pretty? Yeah, no, not really, but it's better than it was. Okay, that's a little bit better view of it if it would just focus. Come on now, there we go. That is our drain hole. And what I'm going to attempt to do is I'm going to attempt to feed this trimmer string. I cut a piece of this 065 universal trimmer line, and I cut it long enough to reach, because I figure that drain goes down the A-pillar and probably ends somewhere in the fender right up above the fender liner down there. So I have a reasonably long piece, and you see here I took a lighter and melted the end so it has a nice little round tip on it, so hopefully I don't puncture any hoses or anything. I'm not going to force it down there. I'm just going to try to see if I can wiggle it. And I'm also going to add a little water in here so there's liquid trying to go down the drain, and it will help lubricate this, and it'll also let me know when I've actually broken through, if I'm so lucky. I just posted the 650 stick video, and that's appropriate because it's 650. So I'm going to go ahead and pressure wash carefully. Going to want to remove the old crush washer here, and then I'm going to clean this plug up nicely, fit it with a new crush washer, and put it back in. Cleaned up the plug, cleaned up nicely, and that's the old crush washer. I have my new oil filter. It's this one, and it comes with a new crush washer and a new O-ring for the housing and a new O-ring for the drain in the housing. Let's have a look here at this old one. This is where the O-ring goes that we're going to replace. And it looks like I'm going to need two hands to pull it out of here. Hold on. This is the original housing. It's in fairly good shape. And this X5 had a good high quality original oil filter, unlike the 650 I did last week that had a Korean oil filter. But this one, while it's very dirty, this one, the oil was much darker and dirtier looking. But I peek in a lot of places in this, and thankfully I don't see anything in there that's alarming. There's no little sparkle or bits of any metallic pieces that I could see. And I got out my magnifying glass and took a pretty good look here, and I didn't see anything bad, so that's good. The only thing that's bad is how dirty this is. This is bad. Some idiot let this go way too long. Not going to happen again. Boy, the finish on this bumper thing is just terrible. Yeah. I'm going to have to refinish this somehow. Something more durable than this spray paint. Things are awful. Anyway, next I'm going to pop off all these little clips and open up this box here and pull out our air filter, because we're going to put in a new one. And then I'm going to, these are those quarter turn clip kind of things. You turn them a quarter of a turn and they release. And we're going to pull this off and have a look down here. It looks like I can already see where the brake master cylinder is. So we're going to inspect that and probably change some fluid. And then I'm going to do the same thing with these quarter turn dealies on that side. And that's where our cabin filter is. And on the X5, it appears to only have one cabin filter, whereas the 650i has two. I pulled out this pan, and it's not that terrible. It's got some debris in it, and I will check. This is where it drains into the drain that comes out in the behind the fender liner. So I'll check and make sure that that's not full of debris, but this doesn't look bad. It's not full of junk. This is just stuff that slipped by. I'll vacuum that out. The master cylinder, it's got a good level, and I can see, looking at it from here, it's a little dark, but it still has got some translucency to it, which the brake fluid in the 650 did not. So I'll open this up and explore it a little more and see if I have to do anything about it. But let me show you something I found on the other side. This kind of stuff always kind of surprises me because I have the service records. I'm the second owner, realistically, of this car. The original owner had it for the first 100,000 miles, and then they traded it in to the same dealership where they originally purchased it and who had done all of the service. So I pulled this pan out, and okay, this comes in and out frequently enough because the cabin filter is inside this housing, and we'll get to that in a minute. And yeah, there's some debris. I'll clean that out. Not a big deal. What is a big deal is when you look at this pan and you see this is the part that fits into the drain hole in here. And someone along the way has just crammed this in there very haphazardly without making sure that this was going in the hole correctly, and folded it up to the point where it's stuck that way. So I'm going to try a little heat gun and that kind of stuff and see if I can reshape this, but this thing is supposed to be out flat like the other one, like this one. So whoever smashed that one on the other side is kind of a jerk, and it was done at a BMW dealership. And here it is after the repair. And it's not perfect, far from perfect, but it certainly is better than it was. I mean, it was completely, well, you saw. So what I did is I used a heat gun, and I heated the plastic up to help it relax a little bit. Yeah, see, it's still got a little dimple there where it was really creased. And then I used these to grab it, and then it would cool, and little by little it started to go back into its original shape. And then I undid a couple more of those quarter turn things back there, and then there's a plug down here that I had to unplug. That guy I had to unplug from here in order to get this cover off, and that's the cabin filter housing. So I'm going to take this off, clean it real good, just like I did to this, and then replace. And there are two filters, and they look pretty dirty. So it's good we're doing this. Well, you never know how these kind of projects are going to go. I was just getting ready to put the airbox housing back in, and I'm jiggling stuff around, and I realize that this is broken. This is not supposed to be a separate piece. It's part of the casting of this whole box. So you can see down here where it's cracked and broken. So I am going to have to do something about that. It's still even crumbling a little bit right here when yeah. Okay, so that's going to slow this project down a little bit. While we're waiting for my JB weld to set up, I'm going to replace all of the wipers. This is, of course, the rear, and you have to just pop it out. Now, of course, I already had that popped, but it just basically clips in there, right there. So I'm going to put the new one on that I got from, of course, FCP Euro. And there we have it. Going to clean that glass soon, too. For the rest of the clips, you have to pull this off. It just pops right off. There's some springs here you can see that line up back here. And now that this is off, you can get to the other clips. One's right here. There's one on the other side. And I'll be able to... Oh, there's another one there. And another one there. So now I should be able to lift the cover off, take a look at my air filters. And they look surprisingly good, actually. But I'm going to change them anyway. This is the passenger side wiper. And I like to put a little pad down before I take the blade off. And that way, if I pull it up, and somehow when I have the blade off, which in order to do that, you need to rotate it and then just pull, and it comes right off. But see the pads here, in case somehow the arm snaps out of my hand accidentally and hits the windshield, hopefully the towel will keep it from breaking the windshield. So, nothing like nice, new, quality windshield wipers. Okay, there we have it. Wipers done. And if you have wipers that are doing that annoying jumpy thing across, it's fairly easy to fix. The wiper works best when it is completely 90 degrees to the glass. And if it's got a slight tilt, it will skip while it's going this way and be quiet going this way. So you need to twist the arm so the blade is straight up and down into the glass. That works really good. Okay, let's see where we are here on this list. Cabin filter we did. Air filter we did. Haven't got the sunroof drains cleared yet. Fluid flush bleed did not need to because the fluid was clear and nice. Power steering inspection. Everything was lovely on that. Place bad taillight. Oh, I gotta do that. We'll do that next. I'm gonna do all of this looks stuff, the repainting the bumpers, roof rack repair, headlight restoration, paint correction, interior detail, all of that stuff I'm gonna do in a different one because I'm gonna do something really kind of wacky on the wheels and the bumpers, I think. We'll see. So that we don't have to worry about. So all I have left here is the sunroof drains and the bad taillight. Okay, to figure out which one of these taillights is a problem, I look in my right side mirror, and as you can see, I have my trusty garage mirror set up there, and when I step on the brakes, I can see that the top brake light is out. There's supposed to be one up top there. You can see the very top edge. Anyway, now I know which bulb is out. Thank you, garage mirror. The warning on the dashboard just says right brake light out, and there's an upper bulb and a lower bulb. It does not specify which one, but by looking in the mirror, I was able to see that this upper one was out. And I think you pull this side panel off, and that should give me access. I'm going to have to climb up in here. Yeah, behind the door here, there's this little flap. You look behind that, you can see the sockets for our light, and it's the top one there. It was actually 3 nuts. There was one up higher that I neglected to show you. And it just pops right out. And let's see. Yeah, I guess it is going to be, looks like it's going to be this big one down in here. Yeah, because that's more of a parking light. So I think it's that one. Okay, it doesn't seem to be that bulb. That bulb looks perfectly good. And then I started looking closer at this guy, and it doesn't really want to twist out very easy. And I look in here, and the socket looks all melted. Come on. No, I won't focus on that, but it looks all melted. So I'm going to keep trying to get this out of here. And this whole socket is somewhat of a problem. As so often happens, start digging in, try to fix something you think is nice and easy. Oh, it's just a light bulb, tail light's out. This thing's been barking about a tail light being out for a long time. Now that I look into it and I see what's happening here, is this whole thing is overheated. The socket is all kind of melty around the bulb. The bulb is scorched. The socket is burnt and got cracked a little bit as I was trying to get the socket out of there. So I'm probably going to have to, at the very least, replace this whole socket. I'm going to see how the bulb comes out, but I got to figure I'm going to have to replace at least the socket. And boy, I don't want to have to replace the whole taillight for that. So, of course, I'll have to just, I don't know, JB weld or something, or maybe just pretend it's not cracked and put the new socket in and call it good. We'll have to see. Come on, you know what I did. But it's back together now. And something else, I did finally get the drain on the sunroof on the driver's side to start draining. And anybody that tells you this stuff, I couldn't get it to work. And I tried to put it in on the side that was draining, on the passenger side, and I couldn't get it to go more than that far in anyway. So I don't know, maybe the X5 has a different kind of channel than some of the guys were showing and displaying how this works, but it didn't work for me. And I got to the point where if I can't make it drain, I'm going to have to close the sunroof forever and seal it. So what do I have to lose? And, everyone says compressed air is dangerous because it might blow the hose off inside the A-pillar, and then it leaks all the time. So I figured if I'm going to seal this damn thing shut anyway, why not just find out if I can clear it with air pressure? So I turned my compressor on and only put it up to the lowest I could set it. I think it was like 7 or 8 pounds. And I would bleed the air out a little bit first to get it, make sure it was down as low as it's going to go, and then push the rubber tip of my blower against it for a second, just bumping a little bit on the hole, and it ended up clearing it. And now it drains good, so we're back in business. I'm going to do the whole exterior thing on this truck. I'm going to do that probably in the next couple of weeks. I have some stuff on order. We're going to redo the wheels. We're going to redo all the bumpers. Going to try to do a little paint restoration, but that won't be for a while. I think I'm going to take the Bluebird camping, and probably in the next couple of days. So be looking forward to a new Bluebird video. I'm going to take it all over, driving around a little bit in South Carolina and see some stuff. I probably will make a video. Thanks for watching.